What's up everybody, this is Chris from Bake Gardening, and today we're going to do soil propagation. I'm going to try to explain it the best I can. So normally I water propagate. Today I'm going to act as if I just want to go out and propagate something in soil. So first thing I got was a pot. As you can see, it's just some old pot with soil in it. Something was probably in it and died, so the basis is just like kind of low nutrient soil, or even if it has nutrients, not the end of the world. But I'm basically going to kind of just tease the soil a little bit. Hopefully you can see that. Kind of just like that. And then I'm right next to my yew tree. Hopefully you understand about cutting underneath the node and all that. If you need more information on that, I have other videos. But so I want to propagate this piece, try to make another yew tree. I'm going to cut at a node just like that. Now off camera I'm gonna scrape it up and I'll show you, but this thing's not supposed to eat it, or I just gotta be careful. So 1 second. Okay, so now that the dangerous part's out of the way, here's the said cutting, and then this will work like if it's a spearmint, if it's a rosemary. It's kind of a universal thing. But I kind of got the bottom cleared up. I left some foliage on top. Usually you want to have a little less foliage than this, but I want to experiment. And then let's bring you down to the pot, and then you just kind of, ooh, you don't do that. And then you just kind of stick it off to the side, just like that. Oh, hey bud, here's another cutting. Bottom's clear, foliage on top. Trying to just, hold on a second, that cat's saying hello. So there you go, there's 2 cuttings. So we have our cuttings. I also want to note that the medium or soil is wet. It's not completely drenched and it's not dry. So the thing with propagation is it's a battle against moisture loss. If this was in full sun, anyone who's grown in pots, the sun's going to just leach all the water out of this, and that would dry out the cuttings. So the idea with propagation like this, or any propagation, is kind of like indirect sunlight, like a window where the sun's not hitting directly, but it's not too shaded out. So you got to find a spot near your house or apartment, and kind of just keep it out of the heat. You know what I mean? But you also don't want it in darkness, because you need to have photosynthesis from the leaves, but you don't want it too much transpiration and all that stuff going on before the cutting dries out. It needs to have enough time to throw roots, if that makes sense. So if you're propagating like this and you see the soil's dry, you're going to want to add water to increase the humidity. If you're walking by and it's just drenched and it looks like your cuttings are like getting root rot or turning brown and nasty, it's way overwatered, and you can fix it from there. But that's pretty much like a easy way to clone any plant around your house. So I'll give you a few more examples. So here I have my basil. It went to flower. Anything that's flowering, you don't want to clone, because so much of the plant's energy, think of the energy in the root system, has gone into forming the flowers and ending its life potentially. So but I am going to try to clone this one. Let's do a little experiment. See the flower? I'm going to cut the flowering part off, and then I'm going to cut down by a node. Here's our cutting, no flowering top. Let me clean this up real quick. So I pretty much just gently grabbed the stem and ripped down, and we have foliage on top, clear stem on the bottom. Some people like to actually scrape into the very outer flesh of the stem, but I don't really do that. Anyways, so let's it smells good. We're gonna just jam it into the soil. You go along the side at first. You can do them in the middle, but most way people propagate is they'll line the entire outside with the cuttings. And so there's that. Then you have the tip that most people say cut from the bottom, because there's more concentration of the plant hormone that'll take the rootings. But then there's other people that say get it from the vigorous part. Now I've done both. I've cloned from the top, I've cloned from the bottom. If the plant wants to survive and you do it right, it's just a matter of trial and error and practice. So here's my native hazelnut. I'm gonna actually prove this wrong and cut right off the top. just like that. All right, so in this clip, I'm gonna actually show you how I prepare the cutting. So hopefully you can hear me. Here's the cutting. I only want a little bit of foliage on the top, right? So I'm gonna grab it right here, and I'm gonna just go like that. You got the foliage, you have the potential roots. We have our thing. Let's see. There's a hazelnut cutting potentially. Now with propagation like this, whether it be soil or in water, also depending on the species, you're gonna, more often than not, stuff's not gonna work out, but you just, it's a numbers game. The more you do it, the more success you'll have. You know, I've had a cloner that's, everything's thrown roots. I've had cloners where like maybe one will throw a root, so it's just practice. I hope that makes sense. And then, so what I'm gonna do is I'll make sure this is wet initially, and then I'll set it off to the side. So let's look right here. We have all these other like stuff growing up right here. If I put this about right there, we know the sun's not gonna directly hit it. It'll still get ample lighting, and we'll see what happens. I mean, and I hope the way, if you have any questions about propagating further than that, let me know in the comments. I'm here to help any way I can. This stuff's not only easy, but super duper fun and rewarding. Like, free plants, right? Everybody loves it. Anyways, my name is Chris from Baked Gardening. I love you. Thank you for watching. If you got any value out of my videos, consider subscribing. Although, if you don't want to do that, I totally understand, because I don't really do that half the time either. So, propagating, fun, do it. You notice, like hardwood and trees, they like soil propagation, whereas annuals like basil and I forgot what else. I've had tons of stuff you could do in water. Tomatoes are all favorite, you know which one I'm talking about. That one, you can do it in water, you can do it in soil. There's so many ways to clone these plants. And anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I love you.